Hello everybody, I'm Erika Eichenseer. I come from Bavaria in Germany, and I'm very interested to spread old fairy tales which you might not know. And one sort of fairy tales are the cruel ones. You might be shivering after the story. I tell you a story about the clattering skeleton. There was a grave digger, and he had to dig a grave for a dead person, and he dug, and came a little downward to a skeleton. And he took the skeleton out of the grave. Somebody else was buried there already before. And he took this skeleton out, and it held together. It didn't break in pieces. And there was the skeleton of a long ago dead people. And he took a rope and put it around his neck, and then he put it over his shoulder and carried the skeleton to the bone house. And there he hanged it up on his rope. Then he went on and dug the grave on for the next dead one. In a farmer's inn in a little village, young people were sitting together. And they were chatting and laughing and drinking and all together. And then came another one in, a young person, very, very big, very stout, and they said, "Hey, you, do you have fear?" "No, I have no fear for nobody." "Would you go to the bone house? There is a skeleton. Would you bring it to us?" "Oh yes, why not?" And she went to the bone house, took the skeleton on the rope, off the rope, put it over her shoulder, and back in the inn or in the pub, she put it on the table. Now the skeleton was lying on the table of this inn, and the others were shivering already because they had so much fear about it. And they said, "Well, we have to pray for this man. We have to pray for this man." And they began praying and praying one a prayer after the other. And there was in the corner, there was an old farmer's woman, very crooked, very, very old. And she sat there. She didn't pray. "Don't you pray with us?" "No." "Why? Why don't you pray with us? This is a poor soul." "No, for him I don't pray." "Do you know him?" "Oh, yes. He was a lover of mine, and he took everything was to be taken from me. And then he went away, and he never came back. Therefore, I don't pray for this man." And then one of the guests said, "Then give him at least your hand." And the old crooked woman stood up, took the bone hand of this man on the table, and in the same moment he fell into ashes. And then they took the ashes and put it in the grave, which was still open, and covered it with earth, and then his soul was safe.